If I come down here, can you still see me, Rain? Okay, so I don't have to stand up. It feels weird standing way up there just to talk to you guys. Yeah, but the reason we're having this is because in case people want to watch while we're live streaming, and we've got a few folks that want to watch recorded afterwards too. One of the groups that we're going to be working with is the churches in Black Duck and Kelliher, who are going to be kind of joining with us for confirmation. We're going to be providing them large group lessons and the small group resources, so they're wanting to be able to see this as recorded as well. So. First of all, welcome to those of you who are here. Welcome to those of you who might be joining us online or watching later. Hello from the past. It is good to be with you. Tonight, we're basically just going to talk through some of the things about being a small group guide in confirmation, and then go through our weekly structure, go through what is, hopefully that you guys have in front of you, the tentative confirmation schedule for this year, and we'll kind of answer any questions that might come up, that kind of thing. First, though, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for being willing to be guides. It really is such an important thing for all of the kids that go through our confirmation program. The fact that we have groups that go 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and for large part are able to be with the same guides throughout that process, that goes so far in actually being able to build some of those relationships, both among the group and with you. So I am super appreciative of the fact that you guys are willing to give of yourselves, give of your time, give of all of your energy and talents to be a part of this. So thank you so much. And that kind of ties into what I want to talk about next, which is what is being a small group guide. You know, you guys have all been small group guides before, yes? Okay, so I'm going to mostly talk to those of you who are watching who might not have been small group guides before, but also kind of a refresher for those of you who have done this before, that really what we ask our small group guides to do is to dive a little bit deeper into the lessons, the confirmation lessons, than I'm able to do in the large group sessions. Obviously, when I'm standing up here and I'm talking about the lesson for the week, I've got all of the kids that are spread out here, and I like to do some question and answer, but it's not quite that same depth. Not a problem, Melissa. Come on in. Not a problem. Let me grab you a schedule here. Not a problem. Just talking a little bit about what being a guide is about for the folks that might be watching this later that have not been one before. But really, it's an opportunity for kind of building up that relationship at a deeper level. That even though I'm able to have some relationship with a lot of the confirmation students, the real relationship building is going to happen in those small groups. As they get to know each other better, as they get to know you guys better, to be companions in this walk of learning about faith. That I kind of put together the big building blocks, but then in the small group is really where some of that conversation happens that really lays the foundation for what's going to come. And so that's why it's really so important, especially when we have a ton of confirmation kids, that we're able to also meet on the smaller group level. Like not only having like 6 or 7 kids in those groups really helps gel those relationships a lot. So as far as the weekly schedule, it's not going to be any different really from what you guys have experienced before with confirmation. For those of you guys who haven't been a part of our program before, what we usually do on Wednesdays is we open up with announcements and then large group lesson. And usually that's me that's teaching that, or Pastor Pete Warren from Ardal, or sometimes other people come in as guest speakers as well. But we kind of focus in on the larger picture of whatever lesson it is that we're working on for the night. And then after we do that for about 25 minutes-ish, we take time to break into our small groups, and we'll send you out with two group leaders into your various places in the church. And for those of you who have done this before, we're hoping that you're probably going to be in the same location that you've been before, but that depends on what groups we have. Some of the 7th and 8th grade groups will likely have some kids added in too, as we get some other kids in from outside the confirmation program. And so we might have to move you to other locations, but we'll try to keep that consistent for you. And so that's kind of the remainder of the night is spent in those small group conversations. We provide a worksheet that is provided both for the small group leaders and for the confirmation students that guides the conversation a bit. Gives a little more reference to some of the scripture texts, some questions for discussion. Sometimes there'll be art projects or drawing things that kind of get some of the ideas brought up a little bit more. And that's, again, that idea of digging deeper into whatever topic it is that we're looking at. Usually they also have some vocab words, things that'll be helpful for them to know, to understand the material that we try to learn as well. So as far as like if you're not able to be here on a given Sunday, we do ask that if you can, try to find your own sub. We will have a sub list that will be provided. We can always try to find some folks too, and the more advance notice you give us, always the better, because then we can really kind of try to nail down a few things. We do have a few people who are going to be here most Wednesdays who can jump into small groups, but if you're able to, if you know you're going to be gone on a given week, to look at that sub list and maybe call a couple people that you might know and say, hey, could you sub for me on this day? And then just let us know so that we're able to connect them up with their groups as well. All right, so that's kind of the weekly structure for what usually happens in confirmation. And I gave you guys the calendar for this coming year. We're into the Old Testament year of our 3-year cycle. And so that's kind of going to be the focus of a lot of our small group lessons. We're going to start up next week with the orientation and registration. So we'll have kids and parents come in, kind of talk through a little bit about what confirmation is, especially for the incoming 6th graders who might not have been part of the program before, or families that haven't been a part of the program. We can kind of explain some of those things. That will also be available online as well for those of you who are going to be watching and wanting to know a little more about confirmation. And then we're going to jump in on the 21st with acolyte training, because we haven't done that in a while, and kind of give people an idea of how to do acolyting stuff. And then just a general overview of the Old Testament. So before we dive into the specific lessons, what is this book? Why do we have it? How do we use it? That kind of 40,000 feet flyover. And then we will give you time with your small groups on that night, the 21st, just to kind of, for those of you who are in the same group that you've been before, what have you been up to over the summer, kind of reiterating and getting back together with them. And then for the new 6th grade groups, finding out who you all are and gelling and that kind of thing. So, and then this is kind of just the outline of where we're looking. We are getting started a little earlier this year than we have in the last couple years, and I'm glad for that because it gives us a little more wiggle room as far as later on in the year. If we run into some weather problems, which we have done in the past, we have a little more flexibility with timing things out and where we can maybe say, okay, we can move this lesson to another night because we have a little extra room for that. And then, of course, come the spring, we have Lent mentoring during Lent. And usually we do like it if our small group guides can be Lent mentors as well. We try not to pair you up with people in your group just because it's a different type of relationship, right? Having that Lent mentor is more of that one-on-one piece, and it's great if we can have that be someone that you're not necessarily in your long-term group with, so that you can develop more of a deep relationship with that person that's not going to take away from the other relationships in the group. And then coming into April and May, we start lining up for the end of the program year. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. Again, subject to change. We're kind of putting this together as we go, and we'll figure out if we need to make some flexible moves with that. We did move the tubing night into December rather than January because we have not gone tubing in my entire time here. Every single January for the last 3 years, we've had to cancel it because it was like 40 below wind chill. So I finally told Kim, let's just move that into December and hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer for us and we can actually go tubing this year. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Any questions at all about any of this stuff? Oh yeah, Rain, and if there are any questions online, if you want to shout them out. We do have a microphone, so if we can get it on the recording if you do have questions. Oh, did I mention service night? It's on here for, let's see, the 30th of November and then also April 19th. And generally what that is we have a number of community partners that we'll try to pair up groups with to do some service outside the church and also some stuff inside the church. This past spring we tried to do it, man, that was frustrating because literally more than half of our outside service ended up canceling that week. And it's like, okay, I got to find something for everybody to do. So I'm crossing my fingers that we'll actually be able to make that happen a little more successfully this year. So, yep. Other things. Okay. Well, again, I am super thankful for you guys being willing to step into these roles as guides. And we're going to have the materials prepared for you every week. If there are things that you need that aren't being provided, for sure, let us know. We want to make sure that you're able to be successful in this role. This is easily my favorite part of my job, is teaching confirmation. And I think it is so meaningful that you're able to develop these relationships with these kids. And I'm just so thankful. So, all right, that's about it for me. And we are done in less than 20 minutes. Much appreciated, you guys. And we'll see you in the next week and two. Oh, yes, I can absolutely say that. Is there a new faith formation director? Yes. So we hired Brett Carter, who comes to us with a ton of experience. So the faith formation director position is basically youth director minus confirmation, because during confirmation time, they'll be doing club stuff, right? And so I'm still doing confirmation. But Brett is amazing. If you guys haven't met him yet, he's just a fantastic guy. Currently, or has been working at a local radio station as the volunteer coordinator, but he was a minister of youth and family as a pastor down in the Twin Cities for like 10 years. Then he worked for Augsburg Fortress, like writing curriculum for middle school and high school kids. He's just got so much great experience with youth ministry. And so I'm just so thankful that we got him. It's going to be great to work with him. So he will be here. Well, he was here on Sunday as well, but he'll be here for sure this Sunday, Rally Sunday, and then his first official start day is First Calvary Alive Night next week on Wednesday. So, yeah. Yes, Heidi. For registration, yeah, there's no small group stuff, so it would just be for families and kids that are coming to get registered for confirmation. So for those of you who do have kids in the program, it'd be great to have you here for that. But for those of you who don't, I don't think we need you here for registration. So, yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for coming, guys, and we'll see you soon. Thank you guys for joining us and for watching me later. Take care.